Officer Abbott and I were talking behind the building. I think I've talked to you back there on the fence line before. I talked to him for about an hour, and he ran off a couple of people. And I mean, it is, you know how things work. And I was like, man, it's cold, I'm taking off. And I went down the street, and whether it was he was just going to make another patrol or if he wanted to see where I was parking, he followed me out. And of course, I ditched across the street and went back. As soon as he pulled out, like 4 people, I mean, but you guys know that's going to happen. It's just, for us who watch things like that, it's even more frustrating now that the buildings are condemned. You can't even go in and sweep them out, but hopefully the board will here try to do something more proactive with the property, but so when you said you were here for the meeting, you're assigned to the meeting, or okay, I wasn't sure if you were coming to speak at it. Okay.
We get it done. They're all like, if we get
Yeah.
it done. They're from High Rise.
Now, for my viewers, you guys know sometimes I make stupid jokes. Officer Rollins has a pretty good sense of humor, so you know, sometimes I do joke with officers that I know have a better sense of humor. Like I was going to ask him, he's got extra cuffs with him today, so I'm like, great, make sure you have extra set of bracelets for me. I don't intend any issues here at the meeting today. I don't cause issues at public board meetings. Sometimes the officers are here for that reason. So, and thank you again, Officer Reyes, for doing what you're doing. As a citizen, I mean, I know you're dealing with me first, but as you see, multiple citizens showed up being told 4 o'clock for this meeting, and now we're all, and I mean, you're in the position you're in. You're told to do your job, and I respect that. That's why I said, you know, I'm not here to cause you grief or the police grief or the board members grief, but the citizens who actually take the time to come down and address these, and then we get kind of swept under the rug. That's why people stop trying to work with their government. I mean, Yes, sir.
So you want to speak at the 4 o'clock reception that we have upstairs?
Yes, sir.
You're more than welcome, because
Okay.
it is a public meeting.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Can you explain that to this officer and to Corporal Contreras, because he said he'd arrest me if I went upstairs.
No, I'll escort you. You don't have to worry about
Okay.
getting arrested.
I appreciate that,
No,
and
no.
thank you, sir.
Look,
This is who I work for, so
we do a holiday mixer once a year.
I know.
So
I understand it,
our
and it
folks
is
aren't- yeah. But it's a public meeting.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's not restricted, but they're under the assumption, because it's held upstairs, that it is. And I showed him the.
I get it. I mean, yeah.
Appreciate it. If you'll just let him-
I mean, it's a public meeting, and he's allowed, and I'm going to escort him up there. So, but thank you for your diligence. You're doing your job. Appreciate it.
And
We're going to get your name and
Yes, sir.
information, and then we'll get you upstairs, and we're going to open the meeting up, because
Okay.
it's technically a meeting.
Okay.
And the board chair will ask if there's any citizens to be heard. I'm going to say there's 2. There's you, and there's a gentleman who emailed in his comments. I'm going to
That
read
they'll
that
read?
into the comments.
Yes, sir. There were quite a few people down here who were also told the same.
Yeah, they're signing up
they're
to
free.
speak during the meeting.
The
that's
meeting
actually
over here.
broadcast. So this one's not broadcast.
Right.
Okay.
I understand. That's actually one of the reasons I wanted to be here as well.
Okay.
So I appreciate that again.
Yeah.
I could go on and on, but it doesn't matter.
Priscilla, do you have a?
Hey, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
He texted me the other day.
so take care of the recording.
And thank you again. And
Yeah, yeah.
I know
No,
I know
yeah.
your name, but for my record,
Oh, John Herrera. I'm the Senior Vice President for Public Engagement here.
thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Herrera.
Okay.
If you could, and I understand, do it diplomatically or whatever, please let Corporal Contreras know that he